say that if you're going through something by yourself, you should be reaching out to somebody to help you. And I know a lot of people are, okay, well, I don't have anybody to help me.
I'm reading and I'm looking and I'm wondering, is that where all the pain and suffering come from? Like, think about it. Naturally in life, we're going to go through pain. We're going to go through suffering. But do you think that the hardships mostly come from, not having that support system?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think that one of the hardest things to do is to find a friend that is truly your friend, and they will be there for you through thick and thin. We're kind of stuck in this world where it's like, we're stuck in this position where it's like, we call 100 people friends, but not even 99 of them, 90, or not even like 95 of them will come and help you when you're in a rut. It's those 5 people those are truly your friends. The other 95 people, those are just acquaintances.
Not necessarily so, Tony. You have to think about it. You should have different friends for different genres.
Okay.
You have your ride or dies. Those are the people that are going to come help you irregardless to what. Then you may have 3 that are your financial buddies. You don't hang out, you don't talk to every day, but they may lend you a couple of dollars. Then you maybe have another 4 or 5, maybe even 10, I'll give it, that you travel with, that you go on vacation with. I think a lot of us reject that aspect of friendship because it's not how I want it. But think about it like this. You're not every man to every person in your life. You can't be. You understand? But there's some solid ones that you can be all that you can be to them because the relationship is reciprocal.
Well, then what did you say then? And now all of a sudden you have to reflect on what you call a friend and what you don't call a friend. Because I guess in my definition of a friend is, they have my back, I have theirs.
Yes, you have some friends that do have your back. But just because you don't have my back in the way that I think that you should have, it doesn't deem that you're not my friend. If that makes sense. Like, you have work friends, right? Your work friend is not going to be as close to you as your childhood friend. Right. But we take, for lack of a better words, we take it off and say we're not friends because you don't know my personal space. Me personally, in all honesty, my work friend is not a friend. My work friend is a work colleague. Mm-hmm. A friend is a friend. And this is where I understand that that word friend is being used as maybe a form or a word that just somebody that I know that, I speak to. Mm-hmm. But no, that's not really what a friend is, because that's why we have words like acquaintance. We have words like colleagues, co-workers and stuff like that. These are people that I can talk to regarding work, but I can't tell them about my personal life and have them help me or me want to go and help them. So just because you can tell someone about your personal life doesn't deem them a friend. Anyone that shows themselves friendly is considered a friend. I know we would like to take it out of context and say, no, that's my colleague, that's my friend, but your colleague is trying to be friendly. You understand what I'm saying? It's up to you to receive it or reject it. And I'm not going to make a big fuss here about it. It goes back to how we deem words, how we deem them and how we define them. You understand what I'm saying? I have friends that I've met at work that was acquaintances or colleagues at first that now they're friends, if that makes sense. But they show themselves friendly first. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? An acquaintance will never show themselves friendly.
Well, that's not true, because you could show somebody, I'm not coming at you, but still, like, you could show somebody, you can be friendly to somebody. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're a friend of them. Just because you're acting friendly to somebody, we live in a world, the business world, it's huge example, because everybody wants to be friends, but nobody really is friends, because all they want to do is they want to take advantage of what you have to give and such. So,
you just proved my point right and relevant.
Okay.
We as people deem the words and define them how we see fit. Mm-hmm. We change the definition of words according to how it fits our way of thinking. Mm-hmm. We don't walk right out deliberately into this world being a friend. I might want to be your friend because I like the way you dress, or I like the car you drive, or I like your accent. Mm-hmm.
doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be a friend forever. But I'm showing myself friendly and I want to get close to you. So I'm going to show myself friendly and be a friend to you because I have an agenda.
And there you go. And doesn't that make you want to question what a friend is? Because all of a sudden you want to be friends with me simply because of the fact that I have a nice car and I have an English accent, which I don't, but in the scenario, yes, I had an English accent or whatever. You want to be friends with me, but when the time comes when it's time for you to really be a friend, will you be a friend for me, or will you be just a person that says, oh, well, I was only talking to that person because of X, Y, and Z?
But we label ourselves with those attachments because why do we have those things to attract? Just be simply because you like them. Those type of things attract a certain type of friend.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're not a friend because they're not there when you need them to be. You understand? Just say for instance, Tony, I want to be your friend because of the things that you have. But you want me to be your ride or die friend. We've never discussed what type of friend I am, but I'm going to be your friend, right? I'm going to be your friend when you want to hang out and you want to go spend money or you want to go do this. I'm going to jump in that two-seater, right? I'm that friend. But when you need to move furniture or you need to move out your home, I'm not the friend to call.
But then I guess that puts a definition on what you consider a friend and what I consider a friend, because I consider a friend as somebody that I would do X, Y, and Z for, which would be like, if they ever need anything, I'm there for them. And I would expect that back. So, if you want to,
that's his favorite word, guys, expect.
Expectations is life. If you're not expecting anything, then what are you gonna live your life with zero expectations of anybody? That's extremely hard to do. At the end of the day, like an example would be you're driving a car. If you just expect that everybody would crash, would you drive? Exactly. So that's how I look at it. I have to expect that some other people on the road have some form of common sense as well, and that's expectation. So with the expectations of a friend, if you want to be my friend, okay, it comes with these expectations that, oh, well, I'm going to do this for you, but just know that, when the time comes, I would expect you to do that back for me.
That's paying it forward. And that's not really the best way to build upon relationships in my experiences. And you say, how can we be better from our experiences? Well, being that we're talking about pain, suffering, and hardships, and we just left the topic of friendships, let's give this an example, Tony, of, okay, my expectations of you as my friend is to lend me money. That's just my expectation. And when you don't, then I don't want to be friends anymore.
So then we're not friends. Because that's a one-sided transaction. Because at the end of the day...
But think about what you just said. You think it's one-sided, but there's a need that needs to be met, right? And your expectations are for a friend. Don't pause on me, dude.
But that's
You're thinking too hard.
No, but that's not gonna be. You wouldn't be friends then. That's.
So think about what you're saying. I want to be your friend because you have nice things, and I like nice things, right? And so I want to be your friend, and you've agreed. Maybe not the type we've never sat down and discussed what type of friend Tenisha is going to be to you. But I want to be your friend because this is my agenda. You have nice things, and I like nice things. But again, you want me to be the friend to move the furniture or to cook. And your expectation for a friend is, if you're my friend, I have these expectations. Do you get where I'm trying to go with this?
No, I see what you're saying now. So as I understand, because you're saying, well, because you're my friend, I have these expectations too. Okay, then.
Right, and not to shift you, but just I believe, again, you always know I'm gonna come from this point of relationship, because in my experiences, I recognize you showing me your transparent self is better for me, for my personality in relationships, where I don't have to expect. You You understand what I'm saying? I know that if I need somebody, this somebody is going to be there without a shadow of a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But it's from the experiences that you and I have built.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I'm tracking.
So with that being said, for me in my friendships and my long-term friendships and in my new friendships, I don't have expectations on those people. What I like to do is set a date and see who show up. I like to give events, as far as, whether it's just playing cards or whether it's just the board game or whether it's just to come over and eat. That's how you build on your relationships, where you can decipher what kind of friend this one is going to be and what kind of friend this one is going to be. If that makes sense. Then once you build that relationship, you expect, now you know me as your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Now you put expectations on me like, wow, you always there. So why weren't you there this time?
I guess that's understanding. I guess to me, it's like, I guess to a lot of people, it's like what they see in a friend is what they would give a friend, if that makes sense.
I'm going to say this. In my generation, it's more so how I think. But in your generation, what I'm saying, most of you guys are friends because you're attracted to the lifestyle.
Well, yeah, that's true per se.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, likes and likes attract, and let's just say if I have a business and entrepreneur mindset, I would want to be around people with a business and entrepreneur mindset. Okay. I'm not going to be with somebody who likes to blow money and I'm trying to save money, so not necessarily saying that person that blows money, I couldn't consider them a friend, because I would be there for them at time of need, because maybe friendship should be, instead of a materialistic or a I give you, you give me type of thing, it should be more on a I want to help you.
Right. So now you took the pay it forward out.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people that pay it forward, they have an agenda that if I do this, then I have an expectation.
Mm-hmm. But I guess to build on what I was saying in the past, it's that with that I want to help you. Mm-hmm. The expectation is that if you want to become friends with me, you would want to see me in a better position. And if you don't want to see me in a better position, then you want to use me. That's what I look at it as.
No, not necessarily use you. It's just you have to think. Okay, just like driving, you have to be a cautious driver for other people.
Of course.
Right? So in this life of living, you have to be cautious of how other people live their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So just because I might be your party friend, that doesn't mean I could drive you home if we both get drunk. But that doesn't mean because I can't drive you home and be responsible that I'm not your friend, that I don't rock with you. And I don't even know why I'm giving it so passionately. And I guess it's because of my experiences with longtime friends and new friends. I have new friends that treat me better than older friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't discard the older friends.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at it as complacency in the friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I've allowed this friendship to be where it is and what it is. Doesn't mean I throw the old friend away for the new friend.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think friends are replaceable.
Right.
I feel like a friend is something that, just like when you grow a relationship, let's just say you've been dating somebody for 2-3 years, the feelings don't just go away like that. If the feelings do ever go away, it would take up most of years. So it's, especially if you really cared about somebody, it's hard to just throw away feelings for somebody.
It's like a stamp, and it depends on what type of ink or what type of stamp it is. So
okay,
yeah, and I have to give it to you like this, because the ink stamp will wash away within 6 hours.
Okay.
Right, but then you got a seal, which is also a stamp that never goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And why I say this is because sometimes you'll never get over those feelings, because nobody else will come into your life and make you feel that person made you feel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But we also understand everything is not forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you take away from the experience? Like, you know, we and I'm gonna say we, just in general, I'm speaking on myself. I've had, you know, my current relationship now is not a new relationship, but it's not my first relationship, right? I still feel pangs of love for my son's father, but it's not a love like yearning to have them back. It's just that love that I experienced with that individual.
Mm-hmm.
And separating from it, like when I was in it, you can never tell me that this was gonna end, that this was gonna be a hardship. Like, what do you mean? So when I faced that bump in the road and had to make a decision, you really have to weigh the pros and the cons. Like, I have to be honest, we didn't agree as parents on how to raise the children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had different views as parents. Like, I was into keeping the house tidy. The children had to sit at the table and eat. Whereas in my other half, they could sit on the couch.
Yeah.
I'm not with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was a lot of things that played a part into that suffering, that pain, and whether or not I was going to stay in it or grow through it.
You think you made the right decision, or do you think that there could have been something salvaged from there, that maybe you could have fixed it up and worked on the relationship?
And that's why I'm not married today.
Okay.
Because I sat and I pondered on that decision when my son was 3 going on 4.
Mm.
And I made the right decision.
How do you know that was the right decision?
We're still in relationship. As parents, we co-parent very well. Where we've grown to in this relationship, we would have never made it as a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's how I know it. I knew in that moment back then that it wasn't going to be anything other than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So now, 20 something years later, yes, I made the right decision. You know, but that's for me in my house.
Yeah. and you know, for other, you know, for the message to get out there, you made the right decision, and you stand by your decision, but you still feel the pain in the background.
Well, I know my sons suffer from it because, one, their parents are not together anymore. You know, the family is broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, even if we have the best relationship, co-parenting is nothing like the father being in the home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so those are the pains and sufferings and the hardship that I had to overcome, especially being from New York, moving to a whole nother state,
Mm-hmm.
a single woman, a single mother,
Mm-hmm.
a single parent,
Mm-hmm.
Black woman. You know, those are the stereotypes that you try to just stay clear from, you know.
Yeah.
But I walked through it, and if I could change anything, I probably wouldn't change the fact that I separated from his dad. But I would change the fact of leaving the state, probably, just to keep him closer.
So you would have stayed with the father, but you would have moved somewhere else.
No, I would have not stayed with the dad, but stayed in my hometown.
Okay, then. And that would have been, the decision would have been made for your children, right?
Yes.
Okay.